Welcome to Ecosphere, where education meets entertainment. Welcome to Ecosphere, where education meets entertainment, drama gets real, and politics meets the people. From laughs and lessons to hot takes and juicy gist, we've got your daily dose of everything you need to know and everything you want to know. Subscribe now, hit the bell, and join the vibe, because here at Ecosphere, conversation never ends. Today we'll be talking about someone very important in American history. Let me tell you a story that changed the world. With no weapons, no armies, but with just one woman, one bus, one seat, and the word no. But her name was Rosa Parks. She was no celebrity. She didn't seek fame. She just wanted to be free. Let's go back, all the way back to the beginning. Everybody knows her as Rosa Parks, but her real name is really Rosa Louise Parks. She was born on February 4th, 1913 in Tuskegee, Alabama. She was born in a small world that didn't seem to see her. Her parents split when she was young, so Rosa and her brother Sylvester were raised on a small farm with her mother and grandparents. Even as a small child, Rosa knew something wasn't right. She'd walk to school miles and miles every day while the white kids enjoyed rides on buses, laughing and singing with their friends. Their school had new books, while hers had worn out hand-me-downs. Rosa didn't just learn courage as an adult, but as a child, watching her grandfather sit all night with a shotgun, determined to protect his family. Rosa dropped out of high school at the age of 16 to take care of her sick grandmother and mother. But she wasn't done with education just yet. She went back and earned her diploma, which was a very rare thing for Black women back then. And you must be wondering, we all know her as Rosa Parks, so how is her name Rosa Louise Parks? Well, that was her name before she got married. In 1932, she married a barber named Raymond Parks. He was gentle, smart, and deeply involved in civil rights. Raymond encouraged her to keep going, to fight, to talk back, and to never give up. Together, they became a part of something bigger than themselves. Rosa didn't just work as a seamstress. She worked for the NAACP, which is also known as the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. She worked as a secretary there. But don't be fooled, she wasn't just taking some notes. She was working against injustice. One was the rape of a young Black woman named Ressie Taylor, who was raped by 6 white men who went unpunished. Rosa helped expose the truth. She traveled, wrote letters, and attended meetings. She was planting seeds of justice that would later bloom in the future. But still, segregation was everywhere. Schools, restaurants, water fountains, and even hospitals. And of course, the buses. December 1st, 1955, when everything changed. It was a Thursday. Rosa had worked all day at the Montgomery Fair department store, fitting clothes in the men's section. But she was tired, and not just physically. As she later said, people always say I didn't give up my seat because I was tired. But that isn't true. I wasn't tired physically. No, the only tired I was tired of giving in. That morning, she boarded the Cleveland Avenue bus. She sat in the colored section, right behind the white section. As more passengers got on, the seats in the front were filled up and a white man was left standing. A bus driver named James Blake, who had thrown her off the bus just 12 years earlier, demanded that she get up. 3 other Black passengers moved, but Rosa didn't. She slid to the window and simply said no. The driver threatened her, saying that he would call the police, but she said, "You may do that." And they did. She was arrested and taken to jail. She was fingerprinted like a criminal for sitting down. Word spread quickly. Civil rights leaders knew that this was the moment they had been waiting for. A.D. Nixon, Joan Robinson, and many others orchestrated the Montgomery Bus Boycott. They printed 35,000 leaflets overnight. How did they do that? Overnight. By morning, The buses were nearly empty. Black people walked many miles just to get to work. They formed carpool system, rode mules, and used wagons, whatever it took. The boycott lasted 381 days, more than a year. White people threatened them. Churches were burned down, and Rosa and her husband both lost their jobs. But they didn't give in. On December 20th, 1956, the Supreme Court ruled segregated buses as unconstitutional. Victory, but it came with a price. Rosa was hailed as a hero, but her life wasn't easy. She received death threats and suffered financially. She moved to Detroit, hoping for peace, but racism followed her there. Still, she never stopped trying. She worked for Congressman John Conyers. I hope I pronounced that right. She spoke at schools, protests, and rallies, and also walked with Dr. King. She protested apartheid in South Africa. She even boycotted the South African Olympic team, and she always inspired. In 1996, Rosa Parks received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the US. In 1999, she received the Congressional Gold Medal. When she died in 2005, at the age of 92, she became the first woman in American history to lie down at the US Capitol Rotunda. Tens of thousands came to say goodbye. Rosa Parks didn't shout. She didn't carry signs. She just sat down because her dignity demanded it. And by doing so, she helped a nation stand up. So today, I remember her just not a hero, but as a woman, a fighter, a light in the darkness. Her story reminds us, courage isn't loud. Courage is steady. Courage is choosing to do right, even when you're alone. Thank you, Rosa Parks, for sitting down, for standing up, for waking up a nation. That is all for today's episode in Ecosphere. Like, share, and subscribe to learn more history facts. Bye, and see you in the next episode.